Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
As President Biden returns from Europe, the White House tries to clarify his message. The reaction to his surprise words in Poland. Construction is set to resume on busy Rockford streets this week. Businesses say they're worried about the impact of the months-long project. And a local gaming tournament returns in person. The energy brought in by players out of town and out of state. Good evening, I'm Marissa Lessner. Thanks for joining us this evening. President Biden's trip to Europe wrapped up on Saturday as he met with NATO allies and others in a call for Russian President Vladimir Putin to end his attack on Ukraine. The end of the trip was a dramatic one, with Biden delivering a fiery speech in Poland and words that came as a surprise to the White House.
Now, this was a major address on the world stage. President Biden seeming to speak for the history books. He said that these new battles in Ukraine were a small part of a much longer, decades-long war for freedom and democracy around the globe. He said, let's remember the hammer that brought down the Berlin Wall. The might that lifted the Iron Curtain were not the words of a single leader. There was the people in Europe who fought for decades to free themselves. He called this moment the test of all time and said America was ready to lead, that the Russian people were not the enemy. He said he refused to believe that Russians would welcome the killing of innocent children and grandparents, that they would accept the fact that hospitals, schools, and maternity wards had been hit by Russian bombs. But it was this moment, after President Biden said that Putin can and must end this war, that seemed to surprise even members of Biden's own team.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
The president seeming there to call for regime change in Russia. Now, that would be a complete shift in U.S. policy. The administration quickly saying that that was not what President Biden meant, that there is not a policy of regime change for Russia or anywhere. But the question now, will Putin see Biden's remarks as an escalation or a validation to keep fighting? Some experts overnight worried that that one line could have significantly damaged chances for a diplomatic end to this war. And the Kremlin, too, responding overnight, saying that this is not for Biden to decide. The president of Russia is elected by Russians. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, The White House.
And with the attack on Ukraine leading to a U.S. ban on Russian oil imports, gas prices at home remain high, and some in Illinois turn to desperate measures. One car dealership on Interstate 80 in Hazel Crest has been hit by a thief 3 times in the last week. Not stealing cars, but gas. This surveillance video shows a suspect drilling holes in car gas tanks and carrying away buckets of it. The dealership's owner has had no luck in finding or stopping the person responsible.
We were mad, you know. We were mad. We're not like, you know, we didn't like the way they do it. It's crazy. Feel sympathy for somebody, you know, risking his life just for $10 or $20 gas. That's bad.
The owner says the damage is costing his business thousands of dollars, and he plans to add more surveillance cameras. Getting from one side of Rockford to the other may take a little longer starting this week. State Street will soon be all torn up, parts of it closed off completely, lasting through most of the year. We're talking about both East and West State Street. Emery Wilder kicks off our construction coverage. She tells us what part is shutting down and how that closure of West State will impact nearby businesses.
Marissa, one local shop I talked to is skeptical about the road closure, but Public Works says it will all be worth it in the end.
This is like one of the only grocery stores in this area, so like this road has traveled a lot.
Amy Thiessen is the assistant manager of Save-A-Lot, which sits on the corner of West State Street. A portion of the road from Day Avenue to Independence Avenue will be closed starting Monday. The road will go from 2 lanes to 4. New storm sewers, signals, sidewalks, and a multi-use path will also be added. It's a state-led project, which Director of Public Works, Kyle Saunders, says it's phase 2 of reconstruction for the road.
It's a really important artery into our city that has needed public infrastructure investment for some time now.
While the end result is promising, there are still concerns in the meantime. Thiessen says not only will the closure impact business for them, but it will be inconvenient for people in the neighborhood.
People work on the other side of town too, and to get from here to there, how are they going to do that without that stretch of road?
Well, drivers will have to go around. The detour will use Central Avenue to Preston Street to Pierpont Avenue.
It's a great project for our community. It's hopefully going to continue to spur economic redevelopment and investment in those neighborhoods.
Saunders says construction will last the majority of the year. IDOT reminds people to pay extra attention when near work zones. Marissa?
All right, thanks, Amory. And as I mentioned before, construction also starts this week on East State Street. This is the continuation of work from last year. Starting on Wednesday, keep an eye out for workers between Mill Road and Buckley Drive. Crews are resurfacing roads, installing new curbs, gutters, sidewalks, and working on a multi-use path. There will be several lane closures over the next few weeks. This work should be done by the end of June. A gaming tournament returns to Rockford better than before as COVID cases drop throughout Illinois. The Nordloff Center downtown held the 11th Rockford Rumble tournament. This sees people compete in the game Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which features many Nintendo characters. The tournament had been held online during the pandemic. The coordinator says being back in person has made a huge difference.
The energy is 100% different. We got crowds watching games. We got people coming from out of town, out of state even, and they'll come get some good games in, and they will challenge some of our best players.
A regional tournament will take place on May 1st, and you can learn more on their league Facebook and Instagram pages. Welcome back. In just a couple of hours, the Motion Picture Academy will crown its newest batch of Oscar winners. And this year, it's all under one roof, the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. Organizers hope this will bring the awards back to normal.
Tonight, the Oscars back under one roof. Producer Will Packer bringing Hollywood's biggest night back to Dolby Theater after splitting the show between two locations last year.
So there's a sense of a little normalcy.
One star expected to cross the stage tonight is Ariana DeBose, nominated for her role in West Side Story. DeBose, the first Afro-Latina nominated.
It's surreal to have all these firsts attached to your nomination. It's one I'm extremely proud of for so many reasons. I'm proud of the first.
Beyonce and Billie Eilish, two other firsts, nominated for Best Original Song. Eilish for No Time to Die from the Bond film of the same name. Beyonce's Be Alive from King Richard also up for the award. Will Smith, the favorite for Best Actor for King Richard.
This is the year that Will Smith finally gets that long overdue Academy Award for playing Richard Williams.
Also vying for Best Actor is Denzel Washington. With his 10th Academy nomination, he beats his own record and remains the most nominated black actor in Oscar history. The Best Actress category wide open with no clear frontrunner. Penelope Cruz among the 5 nominated.
I'm so grateful for everything that is happening.
Cruz nominated along with husband Javier Bardem.
Great fun to be able to celebrate it together.
Another Hollywood couple nominated, Kirsten Dunst and longtime fiancé Jesse Plemons. And the family theme, also popular in the nominations. Sean Hayter's Coda nominated for Best Picture, the story of a hearing child born into a deaf family.
I hope it means that there's movement forward, and I hope it means that this continues and people are starting to get it.
Coda's Troy Kotsur is the first deaf supporting actor to earn an Academy nomination.
I feel so honored to be here and to be recognized as a nominee because this is making history.
And we're so excited to see Troy on the red carpet. But one person we won't be seeing tonight is Lin-Manuel Miranda. He was exposed to COVID through his wife, but keep a close look at the Best Song category. If he wins in it tonight, he will become an EGOT winner, which is a major, major achievement. Zoreen Shah, ABC News Hollywood.
And the Oscars pre-show starts right here on ABC after this newscast. The award ceremony kicks off at 7, followed by Eyewitness News at 10.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, you always try to look at the glass half full, right? We have the sunshine out there today, so that is a plus coming off of a rather cloudy, cold and rainy stretch, but unfortunately it has not done much for our temperatures. A live look with the Mercy on SkyTrack camera out in Freeport this evening. We've got plenty of sunshine, flag whipping around just a bit. It has been a bit on the windy side at times, and that's really kept that chill in the air for much of this afternoon. Wind in Freeport now from the northwest at about 13 miles per hour, anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour. We've had some gusts today close to 25. That's got to push that wind chill number down too in the 20s for us here for late March. Feels more like the beginning of February. We're at 37 right now in Rockford, 35 Freeport, Belvedere, 34 currently in Rochelle. That's the same temperature our weather watcher Ben is checking in with here this evening in South Beloit, and 35 degrees right now with a little bit of sunshine out there for Mike just north of Forston. No rain, no snow for today, but that'll change in the next couple of days as we've got another system that'll stay with us for at least the middle part of the week. And yes, bring us a chance for rain, but also another opportunity for some snow later this week. Temperatures are going to be on the downward trend, though. We woke up to numbers in the upper teens, low 20s this morning. Tonight we'll be down to 18 degrees. It's not a record low. Our record low is 8. That was set back in 1970, but it is going to be a cold start tomorrow. The good news, though, the wind does lighten up. So the wind will be a little bit more light. You don't have to worry too much about the wind chill factor. Could actually see a little frost develop, though, through the overnight. Now, that wind staying from the northeast for tomorrow. We start off with the sunshine, but cloud cover gradually comes back in through the afternoon. High temperatures again staying in the 30s for our Monday. We'll slowly start to see those numbers warm here by Tuesday, Wednesday before they drop back again. This all in response to a couple low pressure systems that are still well off the west coast this evening, but these two are going to work in conjunction once they move on shore and across the Rockies through the plains and the Midwest, which will increase that chance for rain as early as Tuesday. So let's put this all together with Futurecast. You have a mostly clear sky tonight. We'll see a little more cloud cover as we go throughout the day tomorrow. You'll notice more of those clouds kind of thickening up a little tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. That'll keep our temperature close to 30 degrees for the start of Tuesday. We are really, really dry, so any sort of precipitation that tries to develop with this warm front early Tuesday might actually just evaporate, and we may end up with a little more Virgo. That's where you get the precip falling from the clouds, and then it evaporates before it reaches the ground. I think we have a small chance for a couple of light showers as the temperature comes close to that 40-degree mark Tuesday afternoon, but the chance for rain picks up Tuesday night, and we could even hear a rumble of thunder with that as well as we start to pick up a little bit more wind with that. Wednesday looks like a washout. On the back side of that, we've got colder air wrapping in for Thursday, and that could bring us a chance for some snow Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. So let's put this together with our 7-day. 39 for tomorrow. You're up to 40 on Tuesday, 62 there by Wednesday. So the number goes up, but you've got rain, you've got thunder, and then we drop right back down for the beginning of April.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Some of the best moments in sports are the unexpected ones, like St. Mary's going deep in the NCAA tournament, or like what Ice Hogs goaltender Mitch Gillum did last night. He was not only making his Ice Hogs debut, he was making his first start ever in an American Hockey League game. And did he deliver? He had 38 saves, and he didn't allow a single goal, leading the Ice Hogs to a 4-0 win over the Manitoba Moose. And he's not your typical young guy making a debut. Gillum is 29 years old. He's paid his dues. He spent most of this season with the Indy Fuel.
It's just been a whirlwind of emotions and just excitement, really. Like, I'm just excited to play. Like, I didn't really feel too nervous or anything like that. I just felt like this is just another game. You know, it felt like I was playing with Indy at one point just because we have the same jersey. So I was just like, I felt calm. It felt great.
We'll see how long it'll be before Gillum gets another shot in goal. The Ice Hogs' next game will be Tuesday night at home against Milwaukee. In the NCAA tournament, number 1 seed Kansas has advanced to the Final Four. The Jayhawks blew out the Miami Hurricanes 76-50. Kansas trailed by 6 at halftime, but outscored the Canes 47-15 in the second half. And this could be the end of the line for the Peacocks of St. Peter's. They trail North Carolina 38-19 as they get underway in the second half. Patrick Wisdom led the Cubs with 28 homers last season. He'd only hit 4 in his career before that, but he's out to show what he did last year was no fluke. He went deep there today in Arizona. A 3-run shot, putting the Cubs in front of the Royals 3-2. in his next at bat in the 5th. Hello, that's headed for the Sunbathers too. Wake up out there as Wisdom has 4 RBI to go with those 2 blasts. Pencil him in the lineup for this season. But despite what he's done, the Cubs trail the Royals 10-4 in the 6th inning. Luis Robert has homered twice for the White Sox. They lead the Dodgers 9-0 in the 6th inning. Tim Anderson has 3 base hits. Major League pitchers will not like this. MLB is going to crack down even harder this year on pitchers who put sticky substances on the baseballs. Umpires will again inspect starting pitchers at least once a game. If an umpire discovers that a pitcher's hand is sticky or shown signs of a foreign substance, the pitcher will be ejected. And if an umpire sees a pitcher try to wipe off his hands before the inspection, the pitcher could also be ejected. In Champaign, football is back in the news. The Fighting Illini are going through spring practices, but Bielema and his guys are hoping to build on last season when they went 4-5 in the Big Ten and won 5 games overall. Bielema says the guys have put in their work over the winter.
You can tell, just the things that they've done on their own, the amount of volume that they put in with themselves, right, just trying to get ready for today. I'm very excited.
Well, things will stay pretty quiet. We'll hang on to that clear sky here as we go through the night tonight. We've got the clear sky. Cloud cover will slowly roll back in, though, as we go throughout the day tomorrow. No chance for rain tonight. The First Warn interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. That clear sky, the dry conditions, and the light wind will allow our temperature tonight to drop down to 18 degrees. It'll be a cold one tonight and a cold start tomorrow. Could actually, again, wake up with a little frost on the ground, but the wind will stay light. We'll see sunshine to kick off our Monday. High temperatures only near 39 degrees. Cloud cover will increase late. A little more cloud cover by Tuesday. Highs back up only near 40 degrees. Could have a couple of showers midday. And then a chance for a little more rain and some thunder overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. We've got some downpours that could come down throughout the day on Wednesday, along with a chance for some thunder too. So not a good day to get out and enjoy that 62. And you see temperatures drop right back behind that. We're at 41 on Thursday. Could have some snow mixing in, drying out, but our temperatures will stay below average as we start the beginning of April.
All right, thank you, Candace. And that is going to do it for us. The Oscars pre-show is coming up next. The Oscars begin tonight at 7, and then we will see you back here again after the Oscars at 10 o'clock. Have a great night.